The Volkswagen Beetle was for, well, a long time the best-selling car ever made. Volkswagen managed to sell over 21 million units of this very car. But today, we're going to figure out if it's cool or if it's crap. I want you guys to hold off on commenting until the end of the video because I want to get everything out of the way first and then let you guys comment and see what you think. How am I going to come to a conclusion on whether the Beetle is cool or crap? Well, I've broken it down into 7 different categories: styling, performance, ride and handling, utility, economy, features, and value. And I'm going to give each of these categories a rating of cool or crap, so that by the end, we'll know, well, if it's more cool or if it's more crap. Let's start out with the styling category, and I think there's 2 points to make here. The first point is that the Beetle looks, well, kind of weird, but in doing that, it looks unlike almost anything else you'll find on the road. Maybe with the exception of a Porsche 911, but really nothing else looks like the Beetle, which is kind of cool. The other cool thing about the Volkswagen Beetle is that it's designed with function in mind. It's made in this teardrop shape to help give it better aerodynamics, get you better fuel economy, and anytime you have functional design, well, that's cool in my book. So in the styling category, the Beetle is cool. Up next is, of course, performance. And to talk about performance, we have to take a look at this 1600 cubic centimeter, 1.6 liter horizontally opposed 4-cylinder with a single barrel carb. Back in its heyday, it would have made from the factory about 57 horsepower, but of course, over the years, it's probably lost a few of those. And I think there's kind of 2 sides to this coin, because this engine is praised by many for being so simple and so easy to work on, which I think is a big plus. But unfortunately, it's also extremely slow. I mean, up here at a mile above sea level, you can see this clip of Tommy doing a 0 to 60 run.
In 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, good launch. Really quick shifting it. There's 30. Into 3rd. There's 40. Oh my god, there's a prairie dog running in front of me. 58. There it is, 28.22, 0 to 60 in the Beetle. That is our slowest 0 to 60 time ever. Now the original manual actually says that when this car was new at sea level, it could do 0 to 50 in 12.5 seconds.
And it takes almost 30 seconds to get up to highway speeds. And of course, just because something is simple like this engine doesn't mean it has to be slow. I mean, take Big Green, for example. That has a 350 cubic inch V8 that makes almost 400 horsepower, and it's still a fairly simple engine. Because it's so slow, I think I have to give this category a rating of crap.
Now it's time to talk about ride and handling, which is an interesting topic when you're talking about the Super Beetle, because of course the Super Beetle has McPherson strut suspension up in the front. And what that does is it actually makes for a really lovely ride, especially on even some pretty rough surfaces. You can see we've taken it on some dirt roads up in the mountains and it did exceptionally well. Very smooth. However, having an engine out at the back presents some small problems. For one, the suspension has to be designed differently. If you do manage to break traction on the back tires, there's so much weight because of the engine being back there that you can kind of get into some snap oversteer, which can cause you to spin, and it's kind of dangerous. However, having an engine out of the back also means that this drives in a lot of ways kind of sort of like an old 911, and anything that drives like a 911 is good in my book. Overall, is it cool or is it crap because of ride and handling? Well, I think the good parts of this category outweigh the bad. I mean, you're really not going to be driving a Beetle like a race car, so you're unlikely to roll it or get into snap oversteer because you just shouldn't be driving your Beetle that way. And when you are just driving it around, well, it's really fun, it's really cool, and it's really comfortable. So I think ride and handling, cool.
Next on our list is utility, and I think this is actually somewhat of a weak spot for the Super Beetle. Even on the Super Beetle, which has a larger front trunk area than the standard Beetle, there's only about 10 cubic feet of storage space, which by any standards is not a ton of space. And then you get to the cabin, which because of the size of the car is also relatively small. Check out this video of Nathan and I trying to get into the car together, and you'll see that two big guys just kind of have a hard time.
Not a ton of space.
Excuse me, could you just...
Yeah, dude.
Can you...
There's no the man sharing.
Go that way.
I can't. What? You want me to sit like this the entire time? I am not Tommy, who's, you know, the width of a ski.
Much more pleasant to sit in a Beetle with, frankly.
Oh gosh. Which is weird because, you know, I know a lot of Germans who are some pretty big dudes.
You took my seatbelt.
I did? I'm using your seat. Oops. That might explain.
Let me just get your seatbelt for you. There we go.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right.
Make sure you grab the gear lever. Not okay.
What?
Just, nothing. Just making sure.
Grab. Oh, not your leg.
Among other things, yes.
Okay.
Because of the lack of cargo space up front and the pretty small cabin inside, I have to give utility a rating of crap. Time to talk fuel economy, so let's open the gas cap. Hopefully, if you guys have been watching this series, you'll all know about that funny ad campaign from the 70s where Volkswagen claims the Beetle will make an honest 25 mpg. Now, we've had our chances to do our own mpg loops and get some good data, and we found that you do actually get pretty decent gas mileage with the Super Beetle. Check out Tommy's video where he did an mpg loop.
Okay, there's the first click. Now we wait 30 seconds and give it one more. The damage is...
27.8.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I figured you were getting over 25 miles per gallon. You know, for an old car, which doesn't have all the goodies that mine has, that's actually really good.
In my book, getting good gas mileage means saving money, and saving money is always cool. So for economy, the Super Beetle gets a big thumbs up. It's cool. All right, what about the features on the Beetle? Well, it's somewhat of a Spartan place to be, but there are some cool features to take note of. Of course, you do have a heater, that's nice. You have a radio, which is something you would pretty much hope to have in any car these days. And you do have normal things like your windshield wipers and squirters and things like that. It has all the basic things that you expect. But the problem is that a lot of those don't actually work that well. The heater basically pipes heat from the engine compartment into here, and it doesn't do a very good job of that. The radio, while it works, only pipes out of one speaker in the base model, so it doesn't sound exactly amazing. And I gotta say, the squirter on the windshield there.
Felix here, 1971, isn't the dark ages, so we do have the little windshield squirter here. But on these older air-cooled Bugs, the way they worked is just absolutely bizarre. Let's take a look. Here's your reservoir. This is where your washer fluid would go. We don't have a cap on ours, we're gonna fix that today, but there's no actual electric pump that drives a squirter. It's all done through the power of air. Let me show you what I mean. Underneath this little cardboard paneling, put that to the side, is the spare tire. And you can see there's a little tube that runs from the valve on the spare tire up to this little valve here. And then there's supposed to be a tube that runs from this valve into the squirter reservoir. And how this works, I'm not kidding you, is you push the button on the dashboard and it uses the air pressure from the spare tire to pressurize this tank, which then forces the fluid up to the squirter nozzle when you push the button.
You can see that it doesn't do the best job of actually spraying down your windshield. So for features, I'm gonna have to give the Beetle a rating of crap. There's one category left, and last but not least, that category is value. Now, if you've been paying attention, you'll know that we're actually all tied up right now on our cool or crap ratings. We have 3 categories that are cool and 3 categories that are crap. So this is for all the marbles. I think there's 2 important things to talk about when you mention value on a used car, and the first one is its price when it was brand new. Back in 1971, Volkswagen charged $1,985 for this Beetle, which, if you adjust for inflation, comes out to a price in today's dollars of $12,372, which is super inexpensive. By comparison, the least expensive brand new car you can buy in the US today starts at $12,360. It's the Nissan Versa. So for that, I think it's actually pretty interesting. Now, the other thing you have to talk about is, of course, used price. And we picked up Felix for a bargain for just $4,000, which is really, really inexpensive and a great way to get into a classic car. I think if you can find something with this much character, this much style, and that brings a lot of people this much joy, well, for just $4 grand, you have to give it a rating of cool. So for value, the Beetle is cool. Well, we can do some quick math and find the answer to our original question, is the Beetle cool or is it crap? We have 3 categories that I rated as crap and 4 categories that I rated as cool, which means that the Beetle is indeed a cool car. Now, of course, I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Tell me if you think the Beetle is cool or if it's crap. Well, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, be sure to share, and of course, subscribe and come back to TFLcar.com for the latest news, views, and real world cool or crap reviews, just like this one. Thanks, guys.